Hey Sohail, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025.
Hey Akash, Happy New Year to you as well.
So, how was your break?
The break was great, relaxing, spent some time on a short vacation with the family, and now we're back to the grind.
Yep, absolutely. Same here. And I wanted to talk today about how we use that break. And I also want to talk about how, that applies to planning the year and getting organizations moving on different goals. I personally, each quarter, have been taking a few hours of my time to kind of think about the next quarter. And obviously, end of year, you spend a little bit more time, really gathering up, how did that year go? It's my first year as an independent consultant. So I spent a lot of time thinking about what did I learn, what things went well, what could I do better, where should I invest my time, and where should I not invest my time, right? Because we all have to make choices. I also spent a lot of time thinking about looking at data around the market and where the market is going, and how I can position myself in the market. What a good positioning would be. And I think it's helpful that I use a framework for this, and then I outline my OKRs, my quarterly goals, and I adjust every quarter.
Yeah,
And I think some of this could be useful, I think, in other worlds, right? In corporate environments where I've been in the past. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
yeah, absolutely. I think it's great that you're being so thoughtful about planning your year. Unfortunately, I've seen people not be very deliberate about planning their year. I've seen all kinds of crazy behaviors from managers and leaders, including not setting goals at all,
Yep.
or blindly accepting goals that corporate has defined and sort of parroting them down to the organization, or continuing to do whatever it was that they were doing the previous year without paying any attention to corporate goals,
Yep.
um, or in some cases, ignoring them completely. And so there's all kinds of strange planning behavior I've seen, and certainly I'm sure from your past experiences there's some things you've learned to do really well in the context of organizations.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that comes to mind um, is that when organizations are setting goals, there's most of the companies I've worked at in the past were had a quarterly earnings call. They're public companies, and so you're obviously getting a lot of goals from, let's say, the CEO down. One of the things I love to do with teams is to gather input on those goals and how we could impact them personally. So I might take myself and my direct reports and get into a room and start talking about that. And the other thing I like to do about that is ask them to be innovative. In marketing and in general business roles. A lot of changes are taking effect. Obviously with the advent of technology and now AI here, we've just seen rapid change over the last 10 to 20 years. And so it's fun to get their energy going around, well, what do you think is happening this year that you want to adjust to? Or what makes you excited about this goal? And how do you personally think you can achieve a portion of this goal and have an impact, towards that goal and help the organization go forward? These questions, I think, just get people really engaged and lean in versus saying, okay, we got to fill out, our spreadsheet and workday and just get it into the system and make sure there's something that someone can take a look at later, or further up the chain. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this.
I love your ideas about engaging the team in that manner. I'm definitely more of a structured planner in my approach, so I like the spreadsheets. But I'll tell you, I've seen it done poorly, and I think that one of the things I found really, really helpful at the beginning of the year is to take corporate goals that have been set at a very high level, and then break that down in a very sort of deliberate way into its individual parts and pieces, and then map those parts and pieces to specific functional areas that one oversees,
Yeah.
and then make a specific person responsible for achieving that goal for that function. And you can get very specific that way and cascade those sort of large goals all the way down to individual team members. And that's a practice I found to be super, super helpful.
Yeah.
And then,
That's great.
obviously, you've got to do the hygiene of capturing it in whatever performance management system you have.
Right.
Certainly revisiting it mid-year and end of year at the minimum. But if you get into that discipline of doing it every single year, your organization learns that's a valuable thing to do, and then it becomes just a way of doing things for the organization. I found that to be super effective.
Yeah, those are great tips. I think people hopefully can take some of these tips and put them into place because this is an important part of the year, right? It's how you set the tone and the pace. Well, hey, so it was awesome to see you. Happy New Year again. Best of luck to you and everything you're going to do this year. And yeah, we'll talk again next week.
You too as well. Happy New Year and happy planning season.
Thank you.